man's got fire and a wild hot take. Hey, Andrew's stats make the whole place shake. Hey, laughing loud when your team goes down. Hey, Straub boys run this sports town. Show. Sundays, Mondays, we live for the fight. Hey, college game day and Thursday night. Hey, rivals fall and the banter flies. Hey, we bleed our teams till the day we die. Hey, S-T-R-A-U-E, two loud mouths and a love for the league. From Cleveland roots to the world we go. This is the Straub Bro Sports Show.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Straub Bro Sports Show. Big Bro Ken rocking with you, and always with little bro Drew. Drew, how are we doing?
So, we're obviously going to take away the Browns because they don't count. They don't count. Never do. This is what probably the best sports weekend I've had as a fan since the start of the year. It was fantastic.
You know what, bro? Now, normally, I would make fun of you a bit because of your brownies. However, no, listen, this is just how it goes. However, I'm going to give you some credit and I'm going to give you some love because this is the first weekend of the entire sports year in which Notre Dame, the Dallas Cowboys, and Manchester United all won on the same weekend. Okay, so for one weekend this year, I have not had something to be depressed over. So I'm gonna allow you to have some love too. Pops is in the building as well. What's going on, Pops? Mom, your favorite guys are here as always. So yes, welcome everybody to the Straub Bro Sports Show. It's time to get rolling. And Drew, I'm gonna put you on the spot a little bit, just right off the bat here. You made me carve out time for this segment. I didn't want to do this. I wanted to just move on, and we'll talk sometime in the spring. But you want to wrap up the Guardian season. You want to finish it up. So I'm going to give you my full effort here, even though, like I said, I did not want to. Yes, we lost in the first round of the wild card season, but this is a team that was not supposed to be there. And realistically, now that we're out of the thick of it and we're out of that and we're watching other teams and that the second series is about to end, we played amazing baseball. We caught a lot of breaks. And mostly a lot of those breaks for me were the Tigers being complacent and not keeping their foot on the gas. One extra win from them in any series or against us throughout that whole time. One little win, and we weren't even in the playoffs. So, I don't want to – I'm not going to pile on this team, but when we did get to the playoffs, and like I said, I'm going to turn this over to you to kind of go through. But when we did get to the playoffs, you know, it's a cliche it's a cliche, but you hear it often for a reason. In the playoffs, the game slows down, and raw talent and sublime skill takes over. And realistically, this Guardians team does not have that yet.
It's a great setup, and I appreciate that. Yeah, no. I think, and I said it even as I was watching.
I got to step away for a second, but you take over.
As I was watching them lose, I wanted this segment because obviously in the moment, you're full of emotions, you know, anger, disappointment, all of the things. But once you give it time, like we gave it, everyone starts to really understand kind of what the true outcome of this season was. And I think our father just made a great point. We all see what has to be done now. And that's exactly right. Because you truly had 3 months of really, really good baseball. 2 of them happened to, be at the end of the year and got you back into the race. But you truly saw what was needed, and that was really good pitching, which came along at the end of the year, and clutch hitting, which again came along at the end of the year. And unfortunately, both kind of reared its head on what it normally was in the playoffs. So I first want to say, I think while maybe we didn't reach the expectations we put on ourselves at the beginning of the year, I think if you talk to our past selves in May, June, even July, you are saying this team exceeded expectations or potentially showed what its potential can be in future seasons. Now, obviously, like we said, there are deficits, there are things that we need to improve upon. More reliable pitching, which I think just comes with time, and then with the biggest problem probably need is a right-handed bat.
Yes,
that is the end. I'll pull up a graphic here soon. The people come through the pipeline really don't have a lot. We don't have a lot of right-handedness when it comes to our bats.
No, but go ahead. Before you get to your graphic.
Of course. I was going to say, but before I get to that, I just want to say if there was a word to describe this Guardian season, I think the word would be important. This Guardian season was important. And I think it's important for two separate reasons. One, it was important to see what, in terms of when we are struggling, when we are not producing wins, what are the problems? I think it was important, and we saw that. But also important in terms of, it was important to see who truly has a long-term future on this team, because I believe that there are so many people, and like I said, I'm going to show so many players that could potentially break through, not even just into the team, but break through into potential all-stardom into the next couple years, that you had to truly see what you had. And I think the fact that we made the playoffs while doing that at the same time, while not exactly what we wanted and not building off of last season, was still important.
Yes. Everything that this is what I love. Yes. When you said it, it kind of, wow, man. Important season is a big one. So the funniest part, and I think we've kind of really clued people in on this as we do this, we don't share notes. We only give each other topics, and mostly the most in-depth thing we do is we write each other which games we're going to talk about when we get to college football. I think I'm going to step all over your graphic with my next bit of notes.
Oh, absolutely.
Here is the thing that I wasn't going to use important. I was going to say this season was a glimpse into the future. Yeah, and this is a good one to bring up too, especially come playoff times. We did lose an all-star closer as well, and we were still able to overcome that. But a glimpse into the future is what this season was. Okay? Because the kids are coming. Bo Naylor is 25 years old. Arias is 25 years old. Brito is 24. Kafis is 23. Manzardo is 25. Rocchio is 24. DeLauder is 23. Haplin's 23. Martinez is 23. Kenzie Noel is 24 years old. Jonathan Rodriguez is 25. Georgie Valera is 24. The best baseball is ahead of these guys still. And if what we're seeing, the glimpses that we're seeing out of some of the kids, especially Kafis, DeLauder, that's a complete chalk this series. That was I didn't get anything out of that, and that's
other than he may be my favorite player next year if he continues with the Country Roads walk-up song. Just gonna put that out there. If he continues that, he will be my favorite player.
Yes, Georgie with the home run. This is not something to hang your head on. This is to look up and go, oh, okay, Tigers. You got lucky, then you slipped up and still got lucky. Next year and a year from now after that, there's no more luck. Your luck has run out in this division. And Kansas City's not getting any better. Chicago is still a dumpster fire, and Minnesota doesn't know what it wants to be. So this team has an opportunity in the next couple years, if they upgrade the pitching staff, to do what they did in the 90s and to do what they did in the early 2000s or in the late middle 2000s.
No, I think you're absolutely right. And I want to kind of expand on Ray's point a little bit. An all-star closer, a starting pitcher that potentially could have helped us further along. And if we're talking even further back, a 30 to 40 home run first baseman and a gold glove second baseman. So if we're talking about loss of production, absolutely. But if we want to truly expand on what you were talking about these guys have better seasons ahead of them, let's take a look. So here's what I'm going to put out here. You have 4 guys where it was their first season actually playing in the regular season. Kefis, Valera, Messick, and Halpin, right? And Halpin barely, I didn't even got any swings. He was mostly just a pinch runner. Yeah. Manzardo was on his second season. Angel Martinez, Noel, and then you have some pitchers, including Cade Smith, is going to be going into his 3rd year. He's only played 2 years. Rocchio, Fry, Heron, Bybee, and that whole bottom 3 is your starting 4 was going into a 3rd year on the rotation. So you have so many players with less than 3 years of experience in the MLB. And like I said, and those asterisks on the end are playoff experience. That means all of those players have playoff experience now coming into future years. And then if we want to go on top of it, now you have this whole list on the bottom of players that could potentially be called up next year and contribute to this team even more. We saw Chase DeLauder's potential. Travis Bazzana has been a hype machine for 2 years since he got drafted.
Juan Brito starting to live up to it.
At the end of AAA, he was absolutely killing it. Let's hope he continues. Juan Brito has been a name shuffled around for years. Daniel Espino, let's hope he gets just one full healthy season because please God, this kid has a lot of potential. Cooper Engel is a catcher everyone's talking about. Khalil Watson is an outfielder everyone's talking about. Peterson is a great right-handed pitcher, and Milan Tolentino is a really good shortstop prospect. The only issue, and I was going to do the same thing with the bottom where I was going to go, oh, the asterisks are your right-handed bats. There are none. You truly do not have any great right-handed bats coming through the pipeline. So if there is one thing that I truly think that if this team wants to be serious about contention going into next season, it has to sign a right-handed bat that's going to get you at least 60 to 70 RBIs. And I think that's a massive, massive key there because the second you have that, you can let the kids play themselves into a starting position because then you have that lock.
You want me to make my point or lose my crap first?
Lose your crap and then we can, and then follow it through.
Boy, this is why you my brother and this is why you on the show. That boy cooking, okay? Came with the receipts and the facts. Like Ray said, came ready. Ray and the audience and everybody else in the world, you ever want to see my brother get uberly passionate and nerded out? Let him have his free reign to talk about baseball or the US. That's it. Okay, my man goes off. Okay, so first of all, I don't even want to make a point now because I'm just gonna mess up after what you just did. The only thing, yes, and I agree with everybody. We need this right-handed bat. There's some chips in here.
Mm-hmm.
There's some chips in here you can cash in,
especially in the middle infield.
And the one thing that I can say, as critical of this front office as you can honestly be and rightfully be, the one thing that I can say is they know when to pull the trigger on a deal that gets them something that when they come back up, it's worth it. The way we have traded in the past for the Kenny Loftons and the Vizquels and the Tomies and the Mannings. Then we turned that into the next group, which was that the Grady Sizemore group that came in. Then there was the Cliff Lee and CC group. And then after that, you have the young Carlos Santana, Jose Ramirez, Lindor. This is what, and now, boom, now look at us. We've turned this stuff into DeLauder, Manzardo. This is what this team does. Eventually, you cross your fingers and you hope. Unless you're the Yankees and unless you're the Dodgers, And or the wannabe or what the Padres did. You want to be Listen, I get it. I know we'll relish in that. Yankees saw a great shout out to our cousin Nate, who sent me a TikTok of them raising the Spirit Halloween banner over top of Yankee Stadium. Like we ain't art, like we're not out too talking about our recap, but there. The way, unless you're the Dodgers, sorry, I lost my point. Unless you're the Dodgers or the Yankees and you're spending, you have to get lucky on a crop of young kids. This is the way to do it. I don't want to cash these chips in, though, until I know who those guys are yet.
Absolutely.
So I may not even want to trade for that bat next year. Okay? The Yankees lose. I got you, right. The Yankees lose. So I may not even want to cash those chips in this year or this upcoming season. Now, if we're in contention again, okay, maybe we see what we got going on, but we don't know which one of these kids is actually going to start every day in the outfield yet. Between the Lauder, between all of them, literally half of those guys we named are all outfielders. Between Kafis and DeLauder and Martinez and Noel and Rodriguez and Valera. So we got to figure out who's there, and then I think we can cash in on the
I want to talk one more thing on this. My answer is no, but it's not Guardians related.
Okay.
The answer is no, because if we're being completely honest with ourselves, one, baseball is a dying sport.
I love it.
It's not dead. It's not close to dead, but it's dying. It's dying. Soccer is becoming insanely popular in this country. You have so many other sports in the country. That's one thing. But two, and I looked up to check myself. Since the 90s, Cleveland's population has, like even the metro area, stagnated. It is stagnant. So if you have a population like this, that's not a New York, it's not a Chicago, it's not a place you can easily move throughout the city. You have to drive, you have to park, you have to come from out of town, and you don't have an increasing population, and you have a sport that's getting decrease in population as the generations go on. I don't think it matters how much you spend on this team. You're not going to get the stadiums or the seats filled as you did in the 90s, because it's just not as popular as it once was. There's a reason why the Browns stadium keeps getting filled up every year and the Cavs stadium gets packed out every year, because those are insanely popular sports that as soon as this team starts to do somewhat better, they get filled again. Even when the Browns were awful, they were still packing out stadiums for the first part. No, for the first 3 or 4 games of the year, we had packed stadiums, and I don't want to hear that because I was there for most of them and they lost.
My $20 tickets to those Ravens games say different.
That was in week 8 when the season was already lost. But anytime this team does even minusculely any of those teams are minusculely good, those stadiums are packed out. And it's kind of the same with baseball. The second the team starts doing good, you're packed out. But the difference is that, one, a basketball game lasts 2 hours and is inside. And also football is only on Sundays. You're not packing out a Wednesday night in the middle of April in a Guardians game, no matter how much you spend or how good this team is. And so I think that's the biggest problem. And that's where I'll end.
Anybody else want to come out for this man?
It was a good question.
It wasn't. Yeah, shout out to him. Test this man on his baseball, and he gonna come.
It's a big talking point of how it's the Dolan's not spending it. That's why the seats aren't filled. It really isn't. The second this team does good, that every weekend they're packed, and so it's really just baseball.
Listen, man, mic drop. I got nothing else for you.
We'll talk about it again when March comes around, baby.
All right. So yes, no more. Okay, we're done with baseball.
Yes,
we'll recap some more playoffs as they start to get closer to the World Series, or if any of my parlays will hit. That would be nice too. But you never know. Right. Sorry. I was thrown off. Side note. Some random phone number just sent me a video, and I don't want to open it because
don't open it. Don't open it.
I'm like,
don't
what?
do that. Don't do
right.
that.
Right. I'm on my way to buy gift cards as we speak. All right. Let's talk some college. Let's talk some college football.
Yes.
Oh, what a week it was for your top 25. A lot, actually, and I think I've been trying to keep track of this, but I do believe that is the most L's you have seen in the top 25 graphic so far this year. And Drew, we're going to start with the big ones and work our way back. Alabama 30, Vanderbilt 14. A tough day at the office for my guy Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt. An interception and a fumble were big there. Probably will not see him in Drew's quarterback watch this week. But I got to give a shout out to the Bama red zone offense. 4 trips, 4 sets of points, 2 turnovers, costly for Vandy on those critical drives. And Drew, Bama's defense coming along, okay? Holding Vandy, this is a prolific offense. This offense has put up points on everybody this year. Held them to 14 points and held Pavia to under 200 yards. That is major there.
Yeah, I did kind of call it in my heart, and I said in my heart of hearts, I truly believe that this Vanderbilt team I don't think was just ready for this Alabama team on the road. And I was unfortunately right. I think that this Alabama team, is getting better as the season progresses. And I think it showed it here where Vanderbilt is a good team in their own right, but I just think doesn't have that grit to truly go into a place like Tuscaloosa and kind of put their stamp on a victory there. It was a valiant effort. You saw there was a lot of fight there, but Alabama, you just saw the class. You just saw the ability to just dominate a football game like they normally do. And I think that's kind of where, as Alabama fans, they can go, yeah, it may be, it might not be the same as years prior, but we're still that team. We're still top in the SEC. And I think that's kind of where Vandy needs to just kind of start building, because they have some great pieces, but they truly want to take the SEC by storm. They need to build some foundational pieces that last more than just a cycle of recruits.
Thanks for coming, Vandy. Thanks for playing. They're not done exactly, but as you just said, there's levels here in the SEC. And for the longest time, Alabama and them have been here, and Vandy hasn't even been on the board. Yes, there was a bit of a closing in that gap, but it's still a gap. Now, here's the real question for you, Drew. Wins now against ranked Georgia and Vandy. Roll Tide, roll.
I don't want to say I'm full back on the Alabama train, because I truly don't believe. Well, one, I think the Georgia win was just voodoo magic regardless, but I truly don't believe they've been tested yet. I truly don't think that they've come across someone that they go, oh, we need to play our best game, and even that's close. Once they start to get into that part of the schedule, I think I can make a better determination. But I think until that happens, I think we got to wait before we kind of announce them as back into the title contention.
That's fine. That's what your job is, to use your spreadsheets and your numbers to bring me off my wild takes. Your other big matchup of the weekend, Miami 28, Florida State 22. Drew, we talked and we both agreed that one of the biggest reasons that this Miami team was dangerous, and one of the biggest reasons I gave too, adult quarterback play of Carson Beck, managing the game, not making mistakes. Well, boy, he flat out balled out, and he might have just dropped his name right into the Heisman race the same way that he dropped 4 tutties on in. That Miami defense too, though, 2 interceptions and a fumble. It is legit.
Yeah, I think if we were to talk about previous Miami teams, this would have been the game where we come in and go, this went wrong for Miami, this specific thing, and that's why Florida State won. Because, listen, this Florida State team is not bad in any means necessary. They beat Alabama at the beginning of the season. They have played teams close all year. They were ranked for a good majority of it, from a good majority of the season. And they're a team that goes to a game like Miami and turns up and takes a game over. And they did a really good job at keeping this one close. But there is a different feel to this Miami team than there has been in years past. Like you said, adult quarterback play that's not going to try to just throw the ball down the field. He's going to manage the game. He's going to make sure that Florida State has limited opportunities. This defense, they're not making stupid mistakes, stupid penalties. They're being clean. They're making sure that even if Florida State has success, it's minimal success. And I think that is the sign of a championship level team. And so if we're talking about, the question you asked me about Alabama, I think if we talk about Miami with that same question, that answer is yes.
Now, here's the thing. For Alabama, they've had some low weeks, so we've given them their fair share of criticism. This Miami team, which remains undefeated, we've showered with some love. Me specifically, especially about that defense, you as well. Here's the question I have for you, though. First of all, Florida State, thanks for playing. Is this the little bump in the road, okay? The closer games against Florida State and then Notre Dame early. Does it mean something? Is there something that can be figured out? Because don't get me wrong, I love my Notre Dame team, and we know what this Florida State team, but neither of those teams are Ohio State. Neither of those teams are a fully healthy Oklahoma or, Ole Miss or Oregon. There's levels here. Is the difficulty that this Miami defense is having, keeping it closer against some more talented teams, could it be something to watch down the road when they actually do get in with all good offenses?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously something to look at, but I think honestly, this is more about the two teams that were close. No, the two teams that they were close against are very good football teams. Listen, Notre Dame has only lost to two top 10 teams by an average of 4 points and blew out Arkansas and only let Boise State score 7. And this Florida State team, like I said, beat Alabama, who is now playing really, really good football. And so I can't say that they're going to be worse against an Ohio State or an Ole Miss or an Oregon, because if we're being completely honest, I think Notre Dame and Florida State play all of those teams close, regardless of who it is. And so I think that this Miami team, while playing close games, is playing really good teams and also playing really good football. And so I can't be mad that they're winning these games. It was like the same when we were talking about the Patriots a while ago, when they were really good with Brady, when they would only win by 7 or 10 points. And we go, oh, it was close against, the Browns, and they're 2-10. And it's like, well, yeah, because they managed the game and there was really no doubt they were going to lose that game.
Well, bro is bringing it today. That's all I got to say. All right, let's go to our sneaky good games. Notre Dame 28, Boise State 7, as you mentioned. Now, honestly, I don't have much here. There's levels to this game, as we've talked about already today. And even with Ashton Johnson, Boise State was only so high. The offense scores 28. I'm okay with that. Only giving up 7, no matter what, for this kind of level, it's nice. And I am not for the one guy goes down and the whole defense is lost, especially in college, because it's just not. If that's how your defense is built, you're getting toast.
Yeah.
Leonard Moore comes back for Notre Dame on that defense. 2 interceptions, instant impact. The 2 other numbers for me, the running game again. Jeremiah Love, 103 yards and a touchdown. Jadarian Price, 83 and a touchdown. That is the formula for Notre Dame. Turnovers on defense, the running game, both backs at 100 or near 100. We're going to be in every game like that. And dominate teams that don't have the talent.
Yeah, I mean, listen, one player can't lose you a game, but obviously it shows you can win it. Listen, having a leader, having someone who just has a nose for the ball is always amazing on defense. So would you probably still have won pretty comfortably? Absolutely. But it's having that added piece just makes it a little bit easier. And very similar, you controlled the game. You really didn't let them get too kind of into the game, and you took care of business. It's what you're supposed to do.
All right, bro. From one bro's team to the next. Cincinnati 38, Iowa State 30. Bro, you almost had a comeback, but you held on. You already been cooking today. Let's go, Bearcats. The floor is yours.
So I was fully ready to just fully brag about my team, but now I am am much more humble at this point in the show. Listen, it was one of the best first halves of football I think I've seen this team play in a very, very long time. The offense went 100% on scoring, on drives for scoring. The defense bend but didn't break the entire half. And literally until the end of this first half, didn't look like they had many weaknesses. Was there a little bit of a comeback? Absolutely. But listen, this Iowa State team, regardless, is very, very good. Rocco Becht and that offense can move the ball like nobody's business, so I'll give them that. But no, this is an impressive win. I've been critical of Scott Satterfield and how he coaches a game since he's came here. I think he lets his foot off the gas a little too early. And so I think this was another example of it, but I think they were able to turn it back on right at the end there, and a beautiful 82-yard throw by Brendan Sorsby, who in himself had an amazing game as well. We will see. No, we won't actually. There were better quarterbacks this week. But in all of this praise that I'm giving Cincinnati, because I think they had an amazing game, probably played their best game of the season, which they needed to. One, it's week 6. It's halfway through the season. You got a whole other half to go with a very difficult end of season schedule with BYU, TCU, and who is it? Arizona, who's in no right bad. But also, I saw a stat as I was kind of looking into the Cincinnati team to see truly how good are they in comparison to everybody else. And it is really a flipped diagram of the 2021 team that went to the college football playoff, where that team really banked on its defense to kind of bail them out of games. In terms of this Cincinnati team, the offensive efficiency is 5th in the country. The special teams efficiency is 5th in the country. The defense efficiency is 67th. And so I think that's where I think you truly need to, if you were truly to be a contender in this, Big 12 and even potentially get yourself in the CFP, the defense needs to make sure that it cleans up its game, because even in this game, there was many times where a 3-yard gain turned into about 8, or, with a broken tackle, or a loss turned into back to the line of scrimmage. And so being a little bit more of a killer on defense, I think, just needs to truly happen for me to take this team conference championship hope seriously. But as of right now, fantastic start to the season. We've gotten better and better as, Satterfield's years have gone on, but not hopefully pessimistic anymore, hopefully optimistic. I think we've flipped that.
I just want to point out, I forgot baseball, the U.S. men's national team, and Cincinnati Bearcats football or basketball.
Correct.
Listen, I'm proud of you. Okay. And the reason, I apologize, I just took our faces away. The reason I'm proud of you is because, full disclosure, I'm hitting all the wrong buttons on my screen right now. I just went full screen and don't know how to get out of it. Oh, there we go. I root against Chelsea. I laugh my ass off when the Browns lose. I don't root against your Bearcats. I didn't like when we had to play. I love when your Bearcats are good. I want your Bearcats to be good for you. So I'm happy for you. We'll talk next week. We're going to talk here in a second. We're going to talk more about your Bearcats.
Rank us, goddammit.
What?
Rank us. We were the team with the most votes outside the top 25.
I do have that. Yes, you do. You had 100 and something votes. I think it was
137. I know. 137. I know the votes.
Yes, you were right under Arizona State. Dude, one more win and somebody will drop
I
off
know.
and you will jump in. And what I do want to say, and I'll give you credit, and then I'm cutting you off because we're done with Bearcats talk. You have the teams left on your schedule that if you were to win, you will be respectably put in the college football playoffs. So
don't say that. Don't do that.
Our other sneaky games: Virginia 30, Louisville 27 in overtime. My hot streak had to finally come to an end, and so did Louisville's. But it took overtime to do it. I love this Virginia offense. but they play so many close games that I do worry one bounce isn't going to go their way. One small slip up, an interception, a fumble could just completely derail this run. A tough one for the Cardinals, though, because this win would have been enough, excuse me, to get them into the top 25. And then we were going to have to actually ask if they had a chance, but they did slip up here. Let's keep these quick so we can go through the rest.
Yeah, I was going to say, I agree with your Virginia take because this Louisville team has started slow. Yeah. Basically all of their games and had to come back, and this one they just didn't have enough to come back. And so congratulations to Virginia, but I think they're playing with fire right now, and I think some things need to get shored up if they're going to remain kind of in their winning ways.
100% there. Our other one, Texas A&M 31, Mississippi State 9. We tried to hype it up. I see you, Aggies. I see you, but yeah. And then yeah. Texas Tech 35, Houston 11. Drew, it's time to put some respect on them Red Raiders and their 552 total yards of offense. This is the team to beat in the Big 12 by a lot, besides your Bearcats.
Let's not go there. No, fantastic game by Texas Tech. I've been high on them all season. And yeah, the fact that they can go into Houston, the team that always can get up and be dangerous when it wants to be and kind of just completely take control of that game. A great job by them. And I think, this Texas Tech team, I think you're absolutely right, is the team to beat. Thank God I don't play them this year, in the regular season.
Big 12 championship game.
Let's pump your brakes. But
right.
No, I love this Texas Tech team.
I 100%, bro. I'm with you on that one. All right, we'll roll through the rest of the top 25. Yes, yay, Ohio State. Big winners over Minnesota, 42-3. Oklahoma shuts out Kent State, 44-0. We're going to talk some John Mateer in the Red River rivalry game that's coming up this week because, Drew, he is pushing to play, but he wasn't needed this week. I know you're ready because I'm so ready for you. Number 7, Penn State loses 42-37 to unwinning to 0-4 UCLA. Andrew Straub, the floor is yours.
This is Penn State. Penn State. The issue, we are Penn State because this is exactly what Penn State does after a loss like they did against Oregon. The issue is they're not playing Oregon week 9, week 10. They played them week 5. And so that big hype that they always put on themselves and they get ranked super highly and blow out bad teams, it didn't last until the end of the season. It lasted until week 5, and then they lost all the wind in their sails when they lost to Oregon. And they do that every year. And they had a letdown this week because that's exactly what happens to Penn State. I'm sorry. That's been the identity of this Penn State team for 5 years now. And I think that's the problem. And I think it's getting kind of stale at Penn State there. And you really have to ask yourself some tough questions now if you are continuing to kind of just repeat the same scenarios. If you're okay with going, 10-2, 9-3 every year with losses to Ohio State, Oregon, and maybe one other team, if you're fine with that, sure. But if you want more, you're going to have to look in yourself in the mirror and ask a tough question.
One day when this show gets famous, somebody's going to clip you when they finally win it all. And it's going to just be nonstop, just clip after clip after clip after clip. But until then, you're spot on. Now let's laugh at another one, Drew, because they weren't the only team to go down this week. Number 9, Texas. Losers. 29-21 to Florida. And I'm going to reach back here for GM and player of the Rapids, Mr. Morgan Hill. Texas are frauds, just like we said in the preseason. Not all of us. A lot of hype there. But Drew, this Texas team and this Penn State team, now unranked. I know this Texas team for sure.
Yes, correct.
But yeah, both teams now unranked. Are Texas frauds, and is all the Arch Manning hype, was it just a waste?
So I think two things can be true at once. I think, one, is Arch Manning very much performing under expectations? Absolutely. I think that you can tell that this kid is just still growing into the offense, still not truly being able to read the defense as well as he should right now. His processing kind of slow, et cetera, et cetera. However, I want to put this out there. The leading rusher in yardage and carries is Arch Manning with 15 carries for 37 yards. The next guy was 8 rushes for 11 yards. At least Quinn Ewers had a NFL caliber running back to kind of balance the offense.
And
I
wide
think,
receivers. And 2
and wide
NFL wide
receivers.
receivers.
I think the issue here is somewhat that Arch Manning is, not living up to expectations, but also he is getting no help from the rest of his offense. And whether that's a coaching problem or that's a player problem, obviously is yet to be seen. Because obviously Sarkisian has been given this praise, and this praise really hasn't been given any flack lately. But I think the matter of fact is that there is blame to be spread. We're focusing on Arch Manning, but I think it's there to be spread throughout the entire offense, but also some of the coaching staff as well.
You're killing it on the stats. I want the smoke. I know who to blame. The most overrated coach in all of college football, Steve Sarkisian. Give me anything that this man has won.
Yeah.
I'll wait. Exactly. We'll be here we'll be the rest of the night here in silence. This man hasn't won a damn thing, but the hype wins. This man is great at getting his teams to be so hyped up that you think they're going to be world beaters, and then they choke or they fall flat. Now, I will say this. This was something that I heard, and I can't remember who, because I would love to give them credit. I will go back and find it and give them credit. If you think this Notre Dame team was built for next year, then you were lying if you didn't say that about Texas. This team was not ready. We thought, and the reason the hype was there, and we bought into it and gave it some, was because of Arch and the defense. The defense is still pretty damn good. The offense can't score any bleeping points. We've also talked about this Florida team was going to get somebody. They're super talented, and they have an awful schedule. Somebody was going to get clipped up by this Gators team. We're really not surprised that it was Texas.
No.
So, all right, let's keep going. Georgia winners big 35-14 over Kentucky. Georgia Tech was off, so was LSU, Indiana, Ole Miss, and Oregon this week. I'm sorry, and Arizona State, Missouri as well. Let's keep it going. Michigan winners big 24-10 over Wisconsin. Illinois. Go ahead.
I just want to say, just to preface this, Wisconsin hasn't scored over 20 points in a Big Ten game, and I want to say 10 games, 11 games.
You sure you don't want Luke Fickle back?
Oh, you know what, Luke? You have the career you deserve. That's all I'm going to say.
Illinois, big winners, 43-27 over Purdue. BYU, big winners over West Virginia, 38-24. We talked about Virginia, and Arizona State was off. Drew, we killed the locks this week. I'm just going to throw it out there. 5-1 on our locks. Thank you, San Jose State. Thank you, Georgia and Kentucky. Notre Dame was a squeaky one. Michigan State and Nebraska was actually the craziest one of all time, and that over. The only one we did not get was Miami and Florida State. We are 25-11 this year on our locks. We only got one upset. We only got Florida this week, but that's okay. We're at 11 on the year. We're making some money. Well, hopefully you guys are, because it did not go well for me. But let's get to this week, Drew. We start.
Whoa.
Oh, wait. Pause.
Time out.
My own graphics frozen. There we go. My own graphic is frozen. So with that being said, hold on. We're gonna take a pause here. We're gonna take a break. An update. The PAFL. Okay. The All-Star game last week of submission for our players to get in is this week. And if you did not know, we may just have a couple guys from our Cuyahoga Falls Rapids on that All-Star squad.
What's up, Rapids fans? It's Ken Straub, your voice of the Rapids. And our first season is in the books, so now it's time to announce your 2025 PAFL All-Stars from your Cuyahoga Falls Rapids. And we start with the first team. Running back, Monte Taylor. Wide receiver, Sean Smith Jr. Defensive end, Josh Davis. Defensive back, Mari Mitchell. Defensive tackle, offensive line, Dustin Dodd. DB, Anthony Spooney. Offensive lineman, Corvez Bolware. Kicker, Bobby Rhodes Jr. And for your second team, linebacker, Mark Hale. Wide receiver, Darwin Filey. Defensive back, Sham Wright. Offensive guard, defensive tackle, Nathan Pritchard. Linebacker, Boom Lumbus. Defensive lineman, DeAndre Stevens. Honorable mention, unable to play in the game due to injury, linebacker, Mike Marshall. Congratulations to all of our Rapids All-Stars, and stay tuned because the wave is spreading.
All right, let's get Drew back in here. All right. The worst part is you even sent me a message on the side to not forget your quarterbacks, and I still just steamrolled right on through you, bro. I apologize for that, but we caught it. So, without further ado, the man's been cooking. It's time for his fifth meal of this dinner service. It's time for Drew's quarterback watch.
Yes, and listen, we had some good players this week. All right, and talking about the offense of Illinois, Luke Altmaier, 390 passing yards and a touchdown, very well done there. Arizona, I typically don't like to put in quarterbacks that have an interception, but 376 passing yards and 5 touchdowns is more than enough to get you in there. Speaking of that UCLA team, a guy who transferred and was given so much crap after their start. 166 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 128 rushing yards, and 3 rushing touchdowns. Nico basically did it by himself. Very well done there. UConn. We got a UConn quarterback in the quarterback watch, baby. Joe Pagano, 355 passing yards and 4 touchdowns.
Hey,
Texas
Joe
Tech.
Pagano.
Texas Tech obviously is going to be in there. Baron Morton with 345 passing yards and a touchdown. Western Michigan's Brock Lowry came to play, 163 passing yards and a passing touchdown, 92 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. And this last one, I wanted to put it in there to respect the ex-Browns quarterback, Jameis Winston, because this was basically the Jameis Winston game. Tucker Gilchrist from Troy, 203 passing yards and 2 passing touchdowns, but threw a pick. 102 rushing touchdowns and 100 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown, but fumbled. Love it. As just filling the stat sheet up, good and bad. I absolutely love it. I had to include him in there.
Listen, whether it's Ken's degeneracy or Drew's statistics, we don't leave out the small schools, okay? Everybody gets love here on the Straub Sports Show. All right, Drew. Now, are you ready to talk this week?
Absolutely.
All right, let's do it. We've got, for the first time, it keeps that gap that I keep talking about at the top. Ohio State remains number 1, but the least amount of first place votes continues. Only 40. Miami, number 2, picking up 21, and then Oregon, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M round out your top 5. But Drew, I don't want to stare at the top 25. I want to talk about who they're playing. So let's get to it. Straub Sneaky Watchables, and I'm back in once again. NC State at Notre Dame. This one actually makes me for real nervous, okay? Quarterback CJ Bailey can sling the rock for NC State. And now you might try to give me some slack because they lost to Duke and Virginia Tech, but they also handed this ranked Virginia team their only loss. So which Wolfpack team are we getting? And the reason this scares me is the same exact situation as that A&M game. We went in to NC State, beat them at home, or beat them in their place last year. NC State would love to do nothing more to come into Notre Dame Stadium and wreck my season.
Sure. However, NC State is not Texas A&M. They've only given up less than 20 points once, and that was to Campbell. So we're not going to sit here and say like they're the NC State defensive team of old. They gave up 45 to Duke, and anyone who gives up 45 to Duke, I really am not
Hey,
going to
put some respect on
their
Duke
name.
this year.
I will not be putting any respect on Duke's name. But listen, are they a team that is going to put up somewhat of a fight? Sure. But do I believe that this is going to be a game that you are going to be comfortable in for most of it? Absolutely, yes. You are at home. You are behind your crowd. It is a 3:30 kickoff.
Finally.
Yeah, right. You are going to be just fine if you play how you normally play. And I think that's exactly what you're going to do. The offense is looking better and better week after week. The defense is looking better and better week after week, which is truly what we were waiting on. I think you're going to be just fine.
Gotta just play like a champion today, baby. And we'll take care of business. Now, we'll move on. Number 6, Oklahoma versus Texas, because this is a neutral site game. Bro, the fact that we are getting an unranked team in the Red River rivalry, and it's Texas, not many would have picked that. Well, number 1. And number 2, I mentioned it earlier, Heisman hopeful John Mateer is pushing very hard to play in this game. Drew, number 1, should he? And number 2 is some rivalry juice, just what Texas needs to try to jumpstart that season and try to make a late push for the college football playoffs.
So regarding the John Mateer, I think it really depends on kind of how he's actually feeling, because I think the worst thing you want to do is rush back early and then play poorly because you're still injured and hurt the team. I think that's the true mentality there. And also, I think the offense, I know it's Kent State, but the offense looked just fine against Kent State. Looked pretty good there. So it's not like they were struggling without him. Obviously, the Texas team is a lot better than Kent State. But if we go over to Texas, the issue is, and I think we talk about this relentlessly on our podcast, the one level of every sport that it does not matter what the difference in teams are. It matters who wants it more. It's college football.
Yes, sir.
And so if we are talking about this, if we are going into this game and John Mateer is pushing for this and is ready to play and comes in, yeah, Oklahoma, I think, has got this. I think Oklahoma handles this easily. If John Mateer comes back and isn't 100% or doesn't play at all, if this Texas team can get back up and, like you said, Steve Sarkisian can get these boys up and moving, yeah, there's a real shot this Texas team can come in, rely on their defense, rely on Arch making a couple good throws and coming through with this. However, unlike old Oklahoma teams, this Oklahoma defense can get to Arch and basically be as influential as Texas's defense would in that game. And I think that's why I think I can't straight up just say if John Mateer doesn't play, Texas has a chance, because this defense is ridiculous. And we saw that against Auburn.
Brett Venables, that is the coach there at
Oklahoma.
At Oklahoma now, has this defense completely transformed. Okay, this is a completely different Sooner defense. Guys, if you're listening, you have to play like you did against Michigan. And as long as you continue to bring that defensive effort, you're going to wipe Texas off the floor. You slip up, though, and all of a sudden we're going to look up and it's, 35-28 Texas, and you're going, what? Oh, we're in a shootout. Oh, this is the old Oklahoma, Texas I remember. You have got to get out of that mentality. It's hard to treat this game like a regular game in the same way that Ohio State can't treat Michigan like a regular game, in the same way Notre Dame can't treat USC, in the same way that Alabama can't treat Georgia. Some teams you can't treat like a regular game because it means too much in the entire building. From the roots on up, that game means too much. But damn it, Oklahoma, you have got to go out and just treat this like a regular game, because if you get sucked into this rivalry garbage, all of a sudden we're going to be hooking them horns and we're going to go in, Texas got to what? Texas, they got their skip. I don't want to have that conversation, but I'm going to have that conversation on this show if they go out and beat Oklahoma.
I'm glad you brought the Michigan game up, because a professional performance, like I said when we had it there, is exactly what's needed. You can get hype. You can get up for this game, but the play has to be professional. Move the ball down the field carefully. Don't make any stupid mistakes, and let your defense take Texas out, because that's exactly what you can do, and it's been shown you can do it.
100%. We've got another SEC, because it's rivalry. We got some good rivalry games this week. We head down to the SEC. Number 10, Georgia at Auburn. I mean, every week is rivalry week in the SEC. Run the promo. Georgia is dangerous. Still have college football playoff aspirations, but these Tigers have upsets on their minds, and they have all of the talent in the world to do so. We know this Auburn team is talented. Do they have enough to shock these Bulldogs and hand them another loss and almost basically eliminate Georgia from the SEC title run?
The issue is that Auburn, well, it's on one hand and the other for me. One hand, Auburn has had this exact game back-to-back weeks, and they've lost. One to Oklahoma, one to Texas A&M. This is exactly what they did. However, those games were on the road. This one's at home. And I'm going to contradict myself again. However, this Georgia team is not Texas A&M. It's not Oklahoma. It's Georgia. It's a team that has been coached to be disciplined no matter the scenario and keep it within your means. And I think that's exactly why I think Georgia has the advantage here, because if Auburn was at home for Oklahoma or Texas A&M, yeah, I probably would have given them the edge. However, I think Georgia, regardless of where they're at, I think has the edge on Auburn just due to being there before, being in these moments before.
I think this game is going to be close.
Oh, yeah.
I think Georgia is going to come out on top, but this game is going to be close. And that young QB over there better have learned from some of these losses, or he's going to find himself in a deficit quickly, and that crowd is going to get really loud. And they know how to be a 12th man there too. So we'll see what happens there. We'll move back over to the Big Ten. Number 15, Michigan at USC. The Trojans would love absolutely nothing more to rebound from a late gut-punching loss to Illinois by crushing the Wolverines' Big Ten run in college football playoff dreams. A lot of these teams are right on the cusp of picking up that second or third loss. It's time. It's gut check time as we reach this halfway point here. They have an explosive offense, USC does, but they have no defense. And I'll be honest, I want to hype this game, but this game is just ripe for a picture-perfect Michigan comes in, runs the football, plays good defense, wins 21-17, and USC's packing it up again and enjoying the sunshine.
Yeah, so we talked about it on the show, and I talked about it every single time Michigan comes up.
You talk while I go turn my light on.
Do your thing. No, we talk about this every time Michigan plays a high-powered offense. That don't mean nothing. Your high-powered offense doesn't mean a damn thing. A professional performance is needed to beat a team like Michigan. And I'm sorry, I don't think USC has a professional performance in them, especially going up against Illinois and losing to Illinois, and also giving up 31 to Michigan State, also giving up 17 to a bad Purdue team, giving up 20 to Georgia Southern. Michigan is a team that they can score. It's not like they're anemic like they've been, in previous seasons offensively. They can score this time around. Maybe not in bunches, but they can score. But man, their defense, you are lucky to get more than 20 points against this defense. And I think USC does not have the capabilities to play the way you need to play to score more than 20 points. Nebraska did it this year. Oklahoma did it this year. And that's it. And those two teams, I think, are really, really good. USC, I think you're good, but I don't think you're good enough. I think what you said is exactly what's going to happen.
Can you see me better?
You look fantastic.
The ball is shining now. I agree. I 100% agree. I know this USC team can play, and I know they can score. I know the quarterbacks are talented. I know the skill position guys can run for whatevers. You don't play no defense, and until you start doing so, I don't believe you're going to do it on a one-off. So if they win, congratulations. Yeah. I'm not going to take them serious. Let's move down. Hear me out, America. Number 18 BYU at Arizona. Seriously, hear me out. These Wildcats are still 4-1, regardless of how they're doing in our locks and our bets. They are still 4-1. BYU is young and unproven, and as long as Noah Fafita is there, they are on upset alert. Big ups to Bear Brockmeyer. This kid's got some talent, but listen, as long as Noah Fafita is putting on a Wildcats jersey, whoever they're playing is on upset alert.
No, I think you're absolutely right. I like this Arizona team, and I think what they've done so far, and only losing to Iowa State, is really, really good with win against Kansas State as well. I think it's more that BYU is just such a question mark. They've only beaten Colorado and West Virginia in terms of teams that actually are kind of worse. I mean, West Virginia is kind of not really that great. And Colorado is definitely having a down year. Listen, I'm sorry. It is what it is. I like this BYU team. I think they have the potential of doing something special this year, but I think this is the game you have to prove it. And you're in Arizona. It's a night game. The lights are on. Well, it's 5 o'clock actually there, so it's not really truly a night game, but it'll be a night game when the game gets close in the fourth quarter. But no, I like this Arizona team. This BYU team is so just, I don't know, that I think it is ripe for the picking for Arizona to come in and go.
That's why.
Thank you, BYU, for being that high, because it makes this win look that much better.
100% Arizona jumps into the top 25 next week. This BYU team is young and has been playing way too close of a games. Like I said, giving up that many points to this West Virginia team that has struggled, playing Colorado to end, I do believe it was overtime or very close late. They're ready. As you said, they're right for the picking. They're just about there. And I think it might be Arizona that does it. Our last sneaky watchable, number 21, Arizona State at Utah. A big one in the Big 12, as Utah now gets to try to basically play spoiler and try to drag themselves back into the Big 12 conversation. Arizona State had their humbling, they say, and is trying to stay on that right path now. Is there any chance here? Is this going to be a close game late? Is Utah right for their own upset?
I think Arizona... I think it's a close game due to two things. One, Arizona State has played nothing but close games all season. Their 3 actual meaningful games have been a decision of 4 points, 3 points, and 3 points. So I think it's going to be a close game because of that. But I also think it's going to be a close game because I think kind of what we saw with Utah and Texas Tech before Texas Tech pulled away, that was a close game just because Utah can just hang in there. Their offense may not be great, but they can hang with teams. They can put points on teams when they want to, and they can stop teams when they want to. And also, this is your night game. This is 7:15 on the West Coast. This is at Utah. That stadium is absolutely amazing.
Obviously, almost dark.
It's absolutely fantastic. And so, do I think Utah comes with the win? I don't know, but I think I can guarantee this game going into the fourth quarter is going to be a 1-score game.
Arizona State, if you want any chance, you better handle business here. I think this Utah team might be right for the picking. There might be a ducat or two thrown that way. They may get sprinkled into a 9-teamer. You never know. But yeah, I like this Utah team. Listen, we go big on Saturdays. All right, big bros, big bets are big bros, big bets for a reason, sir. Now let's hop over, because we've got some big ones to talk about. Drew, the SEC, we talk about the SEC. We talk about the SEC this week. The path to the Big Ten championship game is going to start to take light. We start at noon, and I got to reach back up because, yes, the Illa Buck is back. Number 1, Ohio State travels to Champaign to take on number 11, Illinois. Noon on Fox. I'm assuming Big Noon Saturday will be there. I don't know. I don't watch it. I watch Game Day. Sorry.
Gus Johnson will be there. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. All right. So they'll be there. Drew, Illinois, humbled by Indiana from the opening whistle, has now rebounded with monster victories last week and then the week before against USC. But they're still going to get blown out by 20, right?
Yeah, and I think the issue here,
Ozzo disagrees with us.
I don't, and I think the only issue I don't is, yeah, they can put up points against bad defenses, and yeah, they can stop teams from scoring that have bad offenses. I think that's kind of where I like Illinois, but I don't love Illinois, and I think the reason is, and it's the biggest blemish. It's 63-10 against Indiana. It's the game that you go, oh no, okay, there's a level that Illinois is below. And I think it is shown in the past 2 weeks, even with wins, giving up 32 to USC and barely scraping, getting a walk-off field goal when you almost lost it, and then giving up 27 to a bad Purdue team that will probably end up dead last in the Big Ten this year. Illinois, you are a decent to good team, but there's levels to this, and Ohio State is one, if not two levels above you. And I think this is where Ohio State goes, no. They're not close to us. No matter if it's at Illinois, if we're literally do not have a single Buckeye in attendance, there's levels to this.
First of all, we love you, Mom. Head on back to work. Okay, so this one's tough for me. The objective analyst in me looks at this and says, if Indiana's defense can bother Illinois, this Ohio State defense is going to shut out Illinois. Yeah. Okay, so that's because that's how good this defense is. Correct. However, this is the Straub Bro Sports Show, freelance podcast. I'm not on a network. I don't have to have pretend loyalties. I don't like Ohio State. I hope they lose. Come on, Illinois. Put this thing to Luke Altmaier. You have had about as long as a college career as Bo Nix. If there was ever a time to try to make a name for yourself and start getting sniffed at in this draft, this is it, baby. At noon at home against the best team in the land, the Ohio State University. Come on. This has to be the game of their lives. Now, I would have much rather actually, I think I disagree with you on something. I lost my pen, but not so fast, my friend. Okay. I think that the loss to Indiana is better for Illinois, because if they had beaten Indiana, they go into this game where they were ranked before, probably a top 5 team or top 6 team.
Where Indiana is probably.
Right, where Indiana is, and there's all of this hype, and there's all of this, and then they go out and get stomped. Now they have that in the back of their head. Hey, wait a minute. We can't lose this game. So, listen, I'm probably still going to take Ohio State in the points. But regardless, come on, Illinois. And of course, Mel. What? Illinois stays in Ohio. That's not what a made up trophy. But
oh yeah, like all of 8 of your rivalries that you have. I don't want to hear about it. Yeah.
Sorry, we've been playing since like the 1840s. You leave me alone, okay? We do have one major SEC matchup this week, and Alabama. You are back again to take on one of these quote unquote second tier SEC teams who are looking to make their name against the big dogs. Number 8, Alabama travels to number 14, Missouri. Another noon game on ABC. Absolute disaster scheduling by whoever decided to put both of these ranked games on at the same time. I will double box them at baseball. I do not care, but just saying one of these should have been flexed over to 3:30. But Drew, I got to step away for one more second. It's a horrible show for me today. I apologize, but
Absolutely.
You're killing it. Is there any shot for Missouri to take a lesson from Vanderbilt and try to upset this Alabama team?
So the issue here, right, is I think they're going to run basically into the same problem that Vandy did. And that is this Missouri team, incredibly talented, led by an amazing quarterback. I think that sorry, I'm forgetting this kid's name. Bo Pribula. Bo Pribula is an amazing quarterback. I think he has a very high potential going in. This Alabama team is ready now. They are ready. They are not phased by anything you throw at them anymore. They are now battle tested. And the issue is Missouri is not. Missouri beat Kansas by 11, which I don't think is terribly impressive, but they also gave up 31 to Kansas. And then they beat South Carolina, which I also don't think is terribly impressive. I think this Alabama team does something very similar to Missouri. I think Missouri gives them a troubling first quarter, and then I think Alabama's talent and pressure pulls away. Missouri, you're a great team. I just don't think you have what it takes yet.
I just want to throw something in there. Nate, save your degeneracy for like 2 minutes till I get to Big Bros and Big Bets. Okay, just we're cooking later, and we've already got about 4 parlays cooked up for the Thursday night game. So, the exact same reason we have to talk objectively about this game. I don't want to sit in a segment and just go, Ohio State by 30, Alabama by 40, we'll tie it. I don't want to do that shit. If the reason I gave Illinois a chance against Ohio State was that loss to Indiana, you learn from it, rebound. The thing that would scare me if I'm an Alabama fan is I just had to get my team up for the good team that's now here in the SEC, and we stomped them. Can I do that again without a game in between? Is there going to be some complacency from Alabama? I'm looking past Missouri. I got SEC championship on my mind. We're Alabama. We're back to the national championship. That scares me. And you're going on the road at noon. Going on the road at noon is not easy.
The issue is that if this was a ranked Arkansas, or if this was a ranked Florida, or if this was one of those teams, right, where they have top 20 in attendance every year, where if you start going down, that stadium's getting loud. Missouri is 13th out of the 16 teams in the SEC in attendance. It's hard for me to go, yeah, this Missouri crowd's going to get up there, because they don't. This Missouri team has never been good, and so I don't know if you have the capability to truly say Missouri's stadium is going to be an impact on this Alabama team. And I think that would be the only thing that would give this Missouri team an advantage.
For my viewers, yes, I needed my blankie. My legs are cold. Secondly, I agree. For you to, just completely take shots at the Missouri campus and the student section. So hopefully y'all show out and prove Drew wrong. But man,
please, I honestly, I kind of want you to, but
it would be nice. All right. So the other big heavyweight matchup in the Big Ten, number 7 Indiana travels to Eugene at 7:30 to take on number 3 Oregon. Drew, here it is. We didn't believe that Illinois was a good test for Indiana. They didn't pass the eye test enough for us to say that no matter how much you handled this team, you're legit. Well, this is the real test. Okay. Yeah. This is your matchup with Mike Tyson in his prime. Indiana. Can the defense slow down this Oregon offense? Can they learn a little bit from that Penn State game where Penn State took Oregon to overtime? Can Indiana's defense slow down enough for this Indiana running game to get ahead of steam and steamroll this Ducks team?
One, I did look it up, and I think unfortunately they may have changed it. It's at 3:30. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, they may have changed the time of the game, but I think it makes it worse. I think this 100% should be a night game.
I probably just messed the graphic up.
Regardless, this should be a night game. But this is such a tough one because I was looking at the schedules leading up, right? And obviously we knew Indiana, they absolutely.
Just so I have it corrected, it is at 3:30 on CBS. I apologize for that.
We know Indiana's schedule. It's absolutely stomped Illinois. survived a close one at Iowa, which I know everyone makes fun of Iowa. Iowa's never a bad opponent, especially at home. Oregon, looking at them, smoked everyone on their way to Penn State, Oklahoma State, Northwestern, Oregon State. Then went into Penn State, won in overtime, an incredible thing to do.
Yeah.
And then had a bye week. And that can mean many, I think, different things for different teams. Bye weeks for some, it gets guys' heads right. Tough start of the season, tough, brutal start of the season. Get your minds right, get your bodies right, get back to it. Could also be a kind of deflator of your momentum. And I think that bye week plays to Indiana's favor. I think that this Indiana team is as high as they will ever be. And I think if there was ever a time to go into Oregon and upset this Ducks team, I think this is the time. You are a team that has an incredible defense that cannot stop but slow down this Oregon offense. Probably close to Penn State, 24 points, But now they have the offense to keep up with Oregon. It's not going to be a 24-10 victory by Oregon, 24-17. This game could be 24-24 going into the fourth quarter. This game could be a one-score game in the 20s going into the fourth quarter. I think this Indiana team has a real shot to push this Oregon team to the edge. Now, it's not going to be easy. Listen, this Oregon offense is amazing. This Oregon defense is also full of studs. Playing in Eugene and Autzen Stadium is not easy whatsoever. That stadium is absolutely rocking the second they step onto the field. But they got a chance. I think they have a real legit chance, regardless of time, area, whatever. I like this Indiana team a lot.
Damn. Dude, you're killing it today. I don't know if I've said that to you yet. I agree. Like, Indiana, man, if this well, I agree on that. The bye week maybe kind of hurting Oregon. Indiana, man, if you want to do this is it. The same conversation I just had with Missouri, same conversation I just had with Illinois. I'm having the same conversation with Indiana. This is your chance. Because if you win this game, I'm not 100% sure what the rest of that Indiana schedule looks like, but I do know for a fact they skip Ohio State. So this is your chance. I don't know what else to say about that. Like, other than if you're going to do it, this is the fucking time. This is the time. I'm sorry, Mom. She's gone.
Just to give you that context, it goes after this. It goes Michigan State, UCLA, Maryland, Penn State, Wisconsin, Purdue. So if we're being completely honest, after this game, probably Penn State, your true, real opponent. I know we dog on them, but they are going to be a tough opponent because it's at Penn State as well. And if Indiana comes in undefeated, they're going to be ready to try to knock them off. But that's a winnable schedule. That's a winnable schedule. If they can prove that they are legit in this game, I would take them in every game the rest of the season.
The one thing I will say is for them, this isn't exactly the same Oregon offense or Oregon team. Yes, they can put up points, but they can be stopped, and that defense is weaker than it has been in some years, and it can be scored on. Okay, so it is something to watch for. But I mean, if all things prevail, and we keep talking about these levels, Oregon's supposed to be here. Indiana's supposed to still have a gap, though. So we will see. We are long today, but that's all right. Drew and Cuz, it's time to make some money. Let's do it. Yeah, I got a lot on there. I do have all of your top 25 spreads on there. I'm going to read no, I'm just playing. You did mention it, Drew. I did want to point it out, though. We do have some teams that are ranked but are not favored. Michigan, USC. USC is favored right now. Michigan plus 2.5. And also Arizona State. Right now, Utah are 5.5 point favorites. So some big ones there, but also Notre Dame that 22.5, Ohio State 14.5. So there are some gaps there for some of those games.
So I'm gonna say you were freaking out about this NC State team being you probably gonna cover that 22.5. I don't even want to hear it.
Listen, I watch my team the way I watch my team. You watch yours the way you watch yours. Okay?
I don't even like that 10.5 you have on the other side, so I get it.
Yeah. Ken's chef specials. We got Washington minus 10.5, SMU minus 19.5. I love this Michigan State team minus 8.5. And yes, Drew, last week you were in the graphic. We talked a lot about you this week, and I've decided to put my utmost confidence in you and put you in the betting segments. Cincinnati minus 10.5 point favorites. I really kind of like that one. I'm not gonna lie. I feel a sneeze coming, so I'm trying to get through this before it comes. Nope, can't.
Bless you. I'm just gonna say Cincinnati plays UCF, and we have lost 2 out of the last 3 games against them. So I'm scared.
And I'm sanitary, as you see. Thank you very much for that UCF one. I love my San Jose State Aztecs. Keep it rolling, please. And then Clemson, yeah, remember them? Remember when they were good? Minus 14.5 point favorites. Nebraska, I also like minus 6.5 against Maryland. And you guys know, listen. There's one thing that you know that no matter what is going to appear in this bet segment, and that is somehow I'm going to sneak Hawaii in plus 1.5 against Utah State. If you don't think I'm putting money on that, then you don't know me.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get to some locks, baby. And yes, the return of Cincinnati. Give me East Carolina versus Tulane. Give me the over 52.5. Michigan State versus UCLA. I love this. Both these teams going to try to put up some points. I love that over of 54.5. Yes. Give me Cincinnati minus 10.5 versus UCF. Boom, boom, boom. Give me that. Kent State. Yes. Kent State minus 2.5 versus UMass. Here's the one thing about Kent State. They have not been able to show up when they've played these ranked teams. Ooh, what a surprise. But they have shown up against everybody else. And I think that continues this week. So I like that. I also, Indiana, Oregon, give me that over of 55.5. And also, I talked about it. Listen, beware my Cornhuskers. I'm going to ride them out to the end of the season. Give me them minus 6.5 versus Maryland. Lock it, lock it, lock it. And your upsets, Colorado plus 122 over. I'm sorry, I don't remember who they're playing, but I'm gonna keep rolling. Wisconsin plus 150, Maryland plus 215. If you disagree with me on the Nebraska game, Indiana plus 250 over Oregon right now. UCLA are plus 265 right now against Michigan State, and Ken's lock special. Listen, there's one other team that I love to sneak in here every week that I can. I'm not going to necessarily take the over this week, but give me Louisiana plus 700 over James Madison this week. And if you don't believe me, it's there in my FanDuel. I believe in it. I put my hard-earned money on it.
I like it.
All right. I love it too. Drew, let's take one quick break. And when we get back, we are going to talk NFL.
Ken Straub here for Schmoopy Sweets and Treats, the official bakery of the Straub Bros Sports Show. And I'm also here with
Stella
and
Landon Straub.
And boys, do we have a lot to tell everyone about today. Schmoopy's is your go-to for all your bakery needs. Gluten and dairy-free options for muffins, cheesecakes, rolls, breads, cupcakes, cake pops, pies, cakes, you name it, it's there. And boys, what do we think?
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Me too, boys. So, if you need anything, especially in this fall time, make sure you get in your orders for pies and pumpkin rolls and cinnamon rolls. Place your order now at
Smoopy's Sweets and Treats.
Oh, where is he? There he is. It's the cutest thing ever. I don't care. But all right, Drew, let's talk NFL. It was a big week. It was a good week for me. It was an awful week for you. But the same thing as we did last week. I don't want to just read through the scores. Drew, I've got some real quick, rapid fire type questions for you about every single one of these games. And I'll throw in my worthless opinion. No, my very, very valuable opinion as well. Drew, we start on Thursday night where the 49ers beat the Rams. Drew, my question, are the 49ers going to finally figure this thing out?
No, and I think it's just because I could play in that Kyle Shanahan offense and do decently well against the Rams. It was a good win for them, but the fact that, I don't know, this team is, again, so banged up, so injured. They're going to win some of these games just because, like I said, Kyle Shanahan is that amazing of a head coach. But I think when they get down to the nitty-gritty, I don't think that they have enough in the tank.
I think they're going to struggle like this all year. I agree. I just don't think they're going to score some points. They're going to win some games, but I just don't think it's going to be fully figured out. He has Sunday at 1 o'clock, but it was actually around 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Vikings 21, Browns 17. Browns. Just Browns. And hold on. And if it wasn't just Browns enough, you had a lead. You couldn't hold it. I thought it was just some atrocious play calling for a rookie quarterback who actually did not look bad at all. I love Shedeur Sanders. I want Shedeur Sanders to be the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, but I can't ignore the fact that Dylan Gabriel did not look bad at all. But I thought it was atrocious play calling. And if the Browns couldn't be more the Browns, they turned around this week and traded Joe Flacco to the Bengals within their division. Regardless of whether you think he's toast, the Browns are the Browns.
Yeah, no, two things. One, I agree with that. I don't think Dylan Gabriel looked bad, and as long as he continues to progress throughout the season, I think you should stick with him. I think the key here is progression. Yeah, exactly. Same what I tell you.
Oh, two, and then go ahead, and then because I want to yell again at you.
And two, the first play ran during that winning drive for the Vikings, I want to say it was like a 12-yard throw to the tight end. I'm like, oh, okay, they're going to score with 30 seconds left. I don't need to watch this anymore. And they score with 25 seconds left. So, listen, I've watched my team long enough to know what's going to happen.
Yeah. And then you made a very strange trade, trading away your cornerback, Greg Newsome, to the Jaguars.
Yeah, I don't know.
Truly,
for another cornerback, I truly don't know. Maybe they just see either – honestly, it could be a Guardians type move where it's just more control over the contract, or maybe he's just, has more potential. Truly don't know.
And then somehow we still managed to get out of order, but I'll roll in your order, not mine. Cowboys? Question mark? No, it's the Jets. It's the Jets. So we'll talk. We'll talk maybe this week, but no. We'll see.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Who's gonna want more money?
Greg Newsome.
Oh, yeah. I mean, sure. Ooh. So trade him away for a lesser quarterback or corner and then swap draft picks. Okay, I don't know.
I just don't think they were going to even be close to giving him what he wanted, so he just got something out of him. I kind of get it if that was the case, but...
No, all good. Saints, 26-14 winners. They still suck.
How's that Jackson Dart hype train coming along, big guy?
Let me finish my whole quote. The Saints suck. I don't care that they won. You win this week on Jackson Dart, but we'll be back. Okay? Possibly tonight, especially if these parlays hit. I'll be singing his praises. Colts, 40-6 winners. I'm just gonna put this out there, and I'm dead set on this. The Colts are the strangest team in the NFL. Period.
Yeah. Well,
this team is not supposed to be good. This team has a quarterback that nobody believes in and a high draft quarterback that nobody believes in. Guys who can't catch the ball and drop it before they get into the end zone. This team does not have the talent to be blowing teams out every week, but they're doing it.
Well, I think it's also the fact this defense is good.
Yeah.
Like, this defense is very, very good. And I think
I think it was they were
underrated coming into this season, but But the fact that they now have a quarterback that can control games, give them breathers on the sideline, and actually like take control of time of possession, they look even better than they did last year because they're not on the field for 2-3 quarters of the game.
There's a theme for this NFL schedule. The Browns suck, the Jets suck, the Saints suck, the Vegas Raiders suck.
Yes.
Then we get to this game. Panthers 27-24 winners over the Dolphins. Dolphins suck, Tua sucks, and the Panthers still suck. Okay?
Like, yeah, no, this game meant nothing.
I'm done.
This game meant absolutely nothing to nobody.
Yeah, I'm done with the Dolphins. Your season, pack that up. I'm done with Tua. Let him just send him out and let him retire. I'm done with there. Then Broncos 21-17 winners over the Eagles. Bo Nix is back, baby, on my fantasy team as well. Finally, somebody hands them damn Eagles a loss. A good comeback, and a good showing by this Denver team. Did this show you that Denver can kind of get this back right?
Yes, but I think it's going to be a recurring theme for this Broncos team where they're going to look good in every game they play, but I don't think they have the firepower needed to truly continue this type of play. It was a great game, but like the Eagles have been flirting with a loss all season so far, so it was bound to happen at some point. I like this Broncos team. I think they're talented. I think they're tier 2 in terms of the AFC teams.
I can rock with it. I'm no longer as high on this Broncos team as I was preseason. I've seen enough games now to go, they're okay. Yeah. Speaking of teams that suck, Texans 44-10 winners over the Baltimore Ravens. Texans, who the hell are you? They might be just as the strangest team in the NFL, just with the Colts, because I don't know what I'm getting from them. I don't know what CJ Stroud I'm getting. Ravens suck. Ravens are actually having the season from hell this year. But yeah.
So I will say, like, I know we want to talk about how like the Houston's very, very weird, but I mean, if we're being completely honest, this Ravens team looks bad. And not even when Lamar was there, because I think Lamar was keeping them in games they shouldn't be in. They've only given up less than 35 points once this season, and it was to that team at the top that blew a lead at the end of the game. This Ravens team, like I talked about it, they lost their defensive coordinator to Seattle, and they did not find an adequate replacement, and it's suffering because this defense cannot stop anybody, and now they don't have the quarterback to carry them through this season to potentially win games they shouldn't be winning. And so, yeah, this is looking bad for Baltimore fans.
I know we need to kind of wait until Lamar is healthy and all of that.
It might be too late.
You're right. I'm about a week away from just putting the stamp on this and saying maybe we should just pack it up and go for a high draft pick. Titans 22. Go ahead. No, go ahead. I
was gonna say real quick. They have an easier middle of the schedule because their beginning was brutal. I'll give them that. But then at the end of the season, you have the Bengals twice, potentially with Joe Burrow back. The Steelers twice, which is never easy. The Patriots and the Packers.
Yeah.
And so that's a brutal end of the season schedule for a team that is going to need to win most of those games to get in the playoffs.
They need Lamar to get back immediately to 100%, get hot, and then be remaining hot to try to battle through that. But that's going to be tough. Titans 22-21 winners over the Cardinals. No, I'm going to say this. First of all, Cam Ward, keep fighting through because you want to talk about he has nothing there in Tennessee. He is doing everything.
Hey, he's got Tony Pollard.
Sure. Moving on. But hang in there, kid, because you're talented, and they're going to maybe put some pieces behind you. I'm done with Kyler Murray as well. I'm very negative in the NFL segment just because there is just some awful quarterback play in the NFL. Kyler Murray, I'm done. He sucks too. So clip that for myself as well. Flip the graphic.
They also had, they also have no running game to speak of in Arizona. So,
but he also has Marvin Harrison Jr. So just throw the ball up to him. Worked for Ohio State. And then we had our 4:00 games. We had some fun stuff.
Oof.
Baker, MVP odds maker. Our love for this man has grown and has spread to the world. Baker Mayfield now in the MVP race for the NFL, as they were 38-35 winners over the Seahawks. You ain't got to sell us. We already on it.
No, this was the best game of the week until Monday night. I'm going to say that. But it was still, it's still the best game or the second best game. No, listen, there are some bitter Browns fans. I'm sure Ray is one of them, if we're being completely honest, that is in our comments. But no, this is what we knew Baker was. This is a gunslinger that as soon as he has credible receivers, he's good. He's fine. And he is proving that again and again. And I absolutely love to see it because that man made me as happy as being a Browns fan as I've ever been in my 24 years on this planet. And I can't thank him enough for that. So wherever he goes, I wish him success. And I am so glad he's getting the recognition he deserves. And Ray, you heard me. You are bitter when you talk about this man.
Ray, I don't think today is the day to come at this man right now. He may have a Baker graphics hidden somewhere. Look, man,
I'll scrounge it up.
I'm with it. I believe in this team. I think they're dangerous. I think they can score points on anyone. And just hopefully the defense can kind of rally behind it. We'll move on. Lions 37-24 winners over the Bengals. Hey man, this Lions team can score. They got the offense has continued to just hum along without the coordinators. This defense is sus.
No, you're absolutely right. And I think that's going to be tough when they start playing teams in the playoffs like the Packers or the Bucks or Seattle when you got to start playing some defense because they're going to come down and start scoring on you again. And it's going to be close again. I know, Ray. I appreciate it, but also come on now. No, listen, I like this Lions team, but that's a problem. That is a massive problem. And we're going to see if they address it at some point.
We will see. The Bengals do get Joe Flacco. Your team is stupid. And look out now. There's a new player in the AFC True North because this division is awful and needs gassed up because it is terrible. So we'll see if Jamar Chase can start catching the ball now because somebody can actually throw it to him. But yeah, we'll see. Then Washington 27-10 winners over we thought they were good Chargers. Jaden Daniels saves the Commanders, and they, to me, are now back in the NFC race.
I agree, and I think on the other side of that, I think we've fully seen that, this Chargers team is not good. They are very bad offensively.
And it's also, not supposed to. Joe Flacco is starting this weekend for the Bengals as well. Thank you for that, Pops. Kind of a shocker. Patriots 23-20 winners over the Bills. Drake May got some him in him. However, I think it's fair to point out this. The Buffalo Bills have yet to play a complete game all year.
No, you're right. However, that's kind of how the Bills have always been with Josh Allen and that whole regime where they turn it on and they look really, really good, but they've never played a complete game. And I think that's kind of what we saw here where I said it last week that I thought this game was going to be close. I didn't think they were going to win it. But this Patriots team played all 4 quarters exactly how you were supposed to and limited the explosive offense of the Bills when they finally turned it on. And I think that's exactly how you have to play the Bills. And that's now you see the blueprint on how to beat the Bills. And I just want to give full credit there because Drake May looked amazing. Stephon Diggs looked like he was 4 years younger. And this whole team looked absolutely fantastic.
I love that these two are arguing it out in our comments. Keep it going, boys, as long as you're still paying attention. I do want to point out because I do listen to Bill Simmons, who is a diehard Patriots fan and has people in on the team. From all reports, besides the fact that you would never run him around your baby mama, Stephon Diggs has been an A-plus teammate and
Oh yeah.
a great leader in the locker room. So all things have been great there on that end. So that's a dangerous team to look at because that is a pretty easy road mid-schedule that the Patriots are about to have as well. And man, you talked about it, so we're going to talk about it. Jaguars 31-28 winners over the Chiefs. Drew, Trevor Lawrence's coming out moment in the NFL might have also been the official end of this Kansas City Chiefs window. Am I crazy?
That was the most first take question you've ever given me. First off, Trevor Lawrence, great game. Let's start doing it over and over again because he looked fantastic. That last drive
with no offensive line, he did it himself. I watched that last drive, every play of it. He got no offensive line play.
3rd and 10. It's looking like all right, you're not looking great. And he lofts that ball right in between two defenders to throw that ball right over. It was an absolute beautiful throw. And I know we made fun of the line. We absolutely. However, on that scoring play, they held it long enough for Trevor Lawrence to not just fall once, but twice, get up, break 2 tackles, and get around without being touched when he was on the ground. So a great team performance. Trevor Lawrence looked great. However, I need to see it some more. They've been winning the games they should be winning. Now they won a game maybe they shouldn't have won. You need to keep going. As for the Chiefs, we see this all the time, man. They struggle. They don't look great. Yada, yada. Even in wins, they don't look great. And then the playoffs come and they go, oh, no, they're the Chiefs. Okay. And that's it. So,
I mean, to be the man, you got to beat the man. And I know that they did get beat by the Eagles last year, but in terms of the AFC side, they're still them. So, but hey, I'm happy for Trevor Lawrence. Yep. Shout out to you, Ray. You noticed it. This was good for Trevor Lawrence. More than it was big for the Jaguars. This was a big moment for Trevor Lawrence to be clutch on a big stage and get that victory. Drew, we did have teams on a bye. Chicago, Green Bay, the Steelers, and the Falcons. And Drew, we were close again, but them dang Giants and the dang Bills got us. Vikings check, Colts check, Eagles check, Cowboys check, Lions check. We are 28-10 versus the money line, so we are killing it. Just maybe don't put all my parlays in or all my teams in on one big parlay, and you'll probably win some money. But we go big or go home in the NFL segment. And Drew, with that being said, let's get to this week's NFL schedule. We start tonight with the Eagles at the Giants. I may or may not have 4 different parlays going for this game tonight. Bosnia blew our soccer parlay today, so we need some good luck. Yes, we bet on international soccer today.
You degenerate.
It was some World Cup qualifying. Hey, listen, you got to get them in. You got to have some juice. But we've got Eagles at Giants. Eagles clearly looking to rebound after that loss. I don't see them having any problem with the Giants. However, I think Jackson Dart is going to impress you a little bit, and you may get back on the train with me and be willing to buy some stock. And then we'll go to the rest of the small teams there. We've got Broncos at Jets in a snoozer.
Making fun of my graphics. I don't need that.
I love you. Seahawks at Jacksonville in a sneaky good game. We'll see if Jacksonville can continue. This is a big test. Trevor, you had your moment. Continue it. And you're going to start hearing MVP talk as well. Chargers at Dolphins in a game that nobody wants to watch, including the fan base of both of those teams. Rams at Ravens. Rams should easily handle this. Cardinals at Colts in a game I do not care about, regardless of how
Colts should easily handle this one, which is something I thought I'd say at the beginning of the season.
That easy road for the Patriots begins this week as they travel to New Orleans to take on the Saints, but still have to be careful. And then we've got a good one with a rivalry game.
Yeah, okay.
Browns at Steelers. Drew, regardless of the quarterback play, this Browns team usually plays these Steelers teams pretty well. Pretty close game. What is the hope that Dylan Gabriel throws 2 early interceptions and you go down 14 and we get us some Shador and he leads you back to a win and he takes over and he becomes the LeBron James of football in Cleveland.
I did not know we were talking about your Madden career. No, I mean the realistically the way you beat the Steelers team is you absolutely harass Aaron Rodgers all game, which is something we can do.
Yes.
That is, if there's one thing we can do is we can harass the quarterback into making mistakes. We've seen it before. Aaron Rodgers, not as capable as he used to be. He's kind of flat-footed in the pocket nowadays. He can get the ball off quickly, and so that'll be a problem. But if you can get him, you can mess him up. You can get a lot of sacks against him, and I think that's got to be your main goal here. As for the offense, listen, you can run on this. You can run on the Steelers defense. You got running backs that can run, and so I think you rely on Judkins, you rely on Ford and Sampson to kind of get you those main yards, and then kind of like we saw last week, you let Gabriel just dink and dunk his way, easy throws, not forcing too many throws, making sure he's safe with the ball, and you kind of just got to let the defense just hang on. It's got to be similar to the Vikings game where you just keep the point totals down and you got to hope that you get enough, you waste enough time on the clock to really not give Pittsburgh a chance to drive down the field on you.
I mean, you have all of the capabilities to do this.
Oh, yeah.
Competent quarterback play out of Dylan Gabriel mixed in with a great Browns defensive performance. And we're going to have some dogs barking on Monday. All right, let's flip over. I'm not in charge of that anymore. We get to the Sunday 4 o'clock games. Tennessee at Vegas. Whew. Go ahead, take a 4 o'clock nap. San Francisco at Tampa Bay. That should be hopefully lopsided as Baker.
No, I think that'll be a game, honestly.
Should be a good game, but hopefully Tampa Bay puts up some points. Bengals at Packers. The return of Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow was the second quarterback to play for the Browns and the Bengals. Now is the only quarterback to have played for the Browns, the Bengals, and the Ravens. So there's some.
We just need him in Pittsburgh next year. Complete.
Yeah, we need to have it. We need to have that. Then we get to Sunday night. We got some good ones. Lions at Chiefs. I love this because what I do know is the Lions are going to score a lot of points on that Chiefs defense, but that Chiefs defense is going to score a lot of points on that Lions offense. So we're going to be hitting some parlays on that boy. And then Monday night, you didn't give us a good one, but you gave me 2 and I'll allow it. Buffalo at Atlanta, Chicago at Washington. I'll take it.
I think they're going to be interesting games. They may not be good games, but I think they'll be interesting enough games. But just because I think both of the underdog teams have the capability of making it a close game.
Listen, I don't disagree. Teams on a bye this week. You've got the Texans, the Vikings, the Cowboys, and the Panthers. 2 teams who will take each other on. And last one of the night. Let's cook. Give me. Oh, I may have messed up my own parlay. Give me the Eagles. Yeah, I did. That's okay. We're going to fix it. Give me the Eagles. Give me those Broncos. Give me the Patriots. No, you messed up, sir. Cowboys at Panthers. Cowboys at Panthers at 1 o'clock. Give me the Cowboys. I knew I was right. I gambled. It's okay. It's all right. Then give me the Bills on Monday night. And give me those Commanders as well. You put that little 6-legger together, plus 681, plus 680 currently. Put a little 30% profit boost, and let's pay the mortgage for a week for a month.
All righty.
All right, Drew. So we've got one last segment. We're running long. Let's finish it up because it's time to talk some footy. You know what, Drew? Your big games, my big questions, which one will obviously be just how back is Manchester United?
Oh, man. Listen, you won a game you should have won, and I think that is a step very well needed for that team. I'll put the scores up here. We're obviously going into international break this week, and so no games looking forward to. So teams wanted to end on a high note, and man, did our teams do it. 2-0 for you, and I'll let you get into it. 2 in a row. How does it feel?
That's right there. I don't care that it was Sunderland. I don't care if they played the LA Galaxy. We won 2 damn games in a row. It's really, really hard for us right now. I'll take it. We dominated. We controlled some beautiful. One of the goals that I don't remember it was the first one or the second one. I do believe it was like 17 passes or like 21 passes before we finally put the ball in the back of the net. We're starting to figure things out. But the bigger news for me, because I'm always locked in on my teams, reports coming out of Manchester that hierarchy within the club started reaching out to people within, or to players within the leadership council, to gauge their backing of Manchester United head coach Ruben Amorim. And from all reports, there has not been a single one that has refuted this. All of the players don't just like Ruben Amorim, but they love their coach, have his back, believe in the mission, and are bought in.
And that's what you need, honestly. I think it's very, very tough to be a coach in the Premier League without support and backing from not just the players, but the management. And so to continuously get that support through some rough times is going to make it a lot easier. It's going to be a lot easier to bounce back and do what you're currently doing than to continuously just try to cycle to find the right coach.
Thank you. So very happy. Now, let's push that off to the side. Normally, you guys know in this segment, all the other segments, I'll move mine and Drew's teams around and let him kind of go back and forth. Here, I give him the setup here that I didn't know that he actually needed. But this week, at the end of here, although I always put Manchester United last no matter what is going on, bro, you have the floor after a monstrous 2-1 victory over Liverpool. The only dark spot in that victory is that you have allowed Arsenal to now go to the top of the Premier League. Drew, your Blues are back.
To address the Arsenal point, don't worry, they'll blow it. Moving on to the game that was. I said it last week. I said, listen, we look awful. We're playing sloppy. We've had red cards in 3 straight games. This one made it 4 straight games. But these are the games we tend to win. These are the games we tend to just look like world beaters. And Ken, if I'm being honest, I know this is a very hyperbolic statement, but when we got 11 men on the field, I feel like we could beat anybody in the world.
But you got to keep the 11 on the field is the problem.
That is the problem. However, this is why no matter how tough some weeks are watching Enzo Maresca's tactics, there is no way I can just criticize this man more anymore because of games like this where you watch a Liverpool team that is consistently dominating teams, consistently taking control of games, consistently pulling games out at the end, look like the objectively worst team. Chelsea, for 90% of this game, was on the front foot. They did get a really good goal with a combination of Isak and Szoboszlai, but other than that, really didn't have that. Had, I think, one other chance in the first half, nothing else the rest of the game. Whereas Chelsea continued chance after chance after chance until the 19-year-old Brazilian Estevao slides and hits the game winner and had me running around this apartment like I was a kid on Christmas that had just got the toy he wanted. That was the most exciting game I've watched in so long on this team. And it just proves that the vision is there. We, at any point, can look like this and pull out victories like this. That gives me hope that even if we lose some of these games, it is very possible we are able to come back and push for this title this year because of games like this, because that at this point, it's the first time I felt this in forever, probably since Tuchel was here. I feel like at any point we could beat any team in the world. And I think that's an amazing feeling to have.
I'm gonna agree with, unfortunately, I'm gonna agree with something you said. If you keep 11 men on the field, 100% you can play with anyone in the Premier League. You'll dominate 6 down, and there's some teams 5 through up that'll give you a game. But yeah, and especially a healthy Chelsea team. It isn't just 11 on the field, a healthy Chelsea team as well. But yeah,
we also had no center backs at the end of that game, by the way. We had to put in a CDM to cover.
But listen, you got to do what you got to do. Listen, been there. Casemiro starting at center back. So don't want to hear that. But yeah, listen, excuse me. I said at the beginning of the year that you were a sneaky, dangerous team. I had you finishing second in my preseason prediction. Listen, I'm not. This team is good. You spent too much damn money to not be, but the results are coming along. So, I think that'll do it. I think we're gonna keep. Go ahead. What else you got?
I was gonna say just real quick. Just wanted to put it out there because we were at the international break. I wanted to throw the table up there. Arsenal, like you said, took the lead. Liverpool sink down to second, followed by Tottenham and continuous in Bournemouth, staying up there, doing really, really well lately. Manchester City and Crystal Palace are your next. My Chelsea is after that, tie with Everton and Sunderland. And Manchester United with those back-to-back wins shoot up to 10th. I think we continue to climb. I love it. Newcastle, Brighton, and Villa close behind. Fulham and Leeds right below. And I think after that, maybe Brentford sneaks into that upper one. But I think, honestly, they get grouped into that other bottom 4. It's when you really start to see the teams that are really, really starting to struggle. And it wasn't just that first month, before the first break. It's now extending into the second break because you had teams like Aston Villa that were down there, and now they're back up and right of the ship. Those other ones, they're starting to struggle. They're continuing to struggle as we get into the season.
All I'm going to say is this. For the first time in like 2 years, we are closer to second place than we are to relegation. We back. Glory, Man
Very
United.
well done.
Absolutely. All right. That was a super, super, super long show, but it was jam-packed full with good stuff all throughout it. I want to thank everybody for joining in with us today here on the Straub Bro Sports Show. Big Bro, wrap it up. Final comments.
Yeah. First thing, thank you everyone listening, commenting, liking, however you support this show. 3 real quick things. 1, shout out to the U.S. U20 team again. They beat Italy's U20 3-0 today to advance into the quarterfinals. Absolutely amazing job, boys. I am just because I am mad at you doesn't mean I don't love you. The U.S. men's national team plays Ecuador tomorrow on Friday at 9. So that'll be something to watch if you have nothing going on. And it is reported, I got the notification while during the show, John Mateer will suit up for the game against Texas on Saturday. So we will see how that goes out.
I love that. I didn't ignore these. I want to get these final shout outs in. Appreciate the love, Pops. We love you. Ray, I'll be hollering at you in about 5-10 minutes when we go rock the boat. And Nate, same exact message to you. Let's go rock the boat. I got a FIFA date with my boys and all my Rapids guys as well. Thank you, everybody, for your comments, your shares, your likes, everything, all of your support for the Straub Bro Sports Show. We really, really, truly appreciate it. And as always, please remember to love yours.
Hey, Ken's got fire and a wild hot take. Hey, Andrew's stats make the whole place shake. Hey, laughing loud when your team goes down. Hey, Straub boys run this sports town. Show. This is the Straub Bro Sports Show. Sundays, Mondays, we live for the fight.